Yeah, one more here.
Yeah.
That's probably. One more here, please.
Yeah. That's for now. Yeah.
Thank you. And so we're finally at prom! That's right. Got 28 piece. Really? Hey, how's it going? Wait, do I?
Hi. Hi, everyone. Wow. Thank you for coming. I'm going to introduce your panelists. These are all the folks behind Severance. That's the clear. You guys know that show? We're going to be talking about spoilers, so glad you know it. So please welcome the creator and writer of Severance, Dan Erickson. The executive producer and director, Ben Stiller.
Oh, you're over there.
Oh, hi, she's here.
I think this
Jen
is mine.
Tullock, she plays Devon Scout Hale. Oh, Jen, you need a microphone. There you go.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
We can
fix
stretch
my
more,
rouge.
though.
It's okay. It's not like it's a whole big production or anything. The casting director of Severance, Rachel Tenner. And set director, set decorator, Andrew Baseman, please. So, thank you guys all for being here. I wanted to ask you, what happens in season 2 in great detail? Go. I heard that you've been working on this show for 10 years. And how much has that script changed since 10 years ago to when Ben read it?
A pretty good amount. I mean, the basics of it have stayed the same. The characters are mostly the same, but there were weird. I would say the original version of it was a bit more towards this like heightened kind of Terry Gilliam Brazil, where there was almost more of a sense of magical realism to it. But I always felt like, it's one thing when you're trying, because I had never been on a show before. And so I was sort of trying to use this to get noticed. And once it became an actual possibility, the reality of actually making it, then it became the question, well, how do we make something that's emotionally grounded enough and feels human enough that we can continue this and make it a show people will watch for a long time? And so I think once Ben and I started talking about it, we really started focusing more on the human elements of it. And, it became a little bit less bombastic and a little bit more just about the people. And I think that was very much, to the show's benefit.
There was such a specificity in the writing and in the language, and to me, it just jumped off the page as this like really familiar kind of banter and tone that reminded me of these great office workplace comedies like Office Space or The Office or Parks and Rec. Like there's like a certain sort of like energy and rhythm that's sort of like become a genre over the last 20 years in American comedy that I was like, oh, that's what, I felt like, oh, this is coming out of that. It almost felt like, oh, this is a workplace comedy, but then he's taking this other element and he's kind of, throwing it into this other weird surreal world. So that to me just was so like clear that then it was just about, okay, let's talk about this. Like, what's the idea of this world that you've created on the outside? What's going on? Where is it going? And Dan has a lot of ideas, and he's had a lot of ideas over the last, 5 years since we started on it. And it was just a matter of sort of developing that. The steps along the way of hiring actors, amazing actors, and incredible craftspeople who are specific and going for something that is both grounded and also sort of weird, but having a logic to why they're doing it. I think every actor needed to ground themselves in the reality of the show. So when you have really good actors and really specific elements that are there for a reason, you know, that there's a reason why this world exists and what the justification for even like the retro technology or things like that. Even if we don't tell the audience what that is, there's a reason for it. And that all sort of leads to whatever it becomes. But, you know, at the end of the day, you never know how it's all going to come together until you put it together.
Most of you haven't seen this before, that everyone would, starting at the end, will introduce themselves and say their instant reaction to watching that.
Amazing. I had never read any of the scripts, so I didn't know. It was great.
I actually read the scripts aloud to Michael, so this is awkward.
I'll take a Xanax if anyone has one.
I agree with all that. It was great.
Exhausted.
My heart just got a workout.
Intense.
I'm still pretty sure this is a prank that people are playing on me.
It was fun to watch it with people, so thank you for letting us have that experience.